Good morning, boomers. It's the voice of the blockchain, Satoshi's big cousin, crypto's finest, Champagne, your favorite live streamer's favorite live streamer, back with another one, preheating the crypto oven to 450 and beyond. 450 and beyond. Shout out to all the crypto maniacs, soldiers deep in the foxholes of the blockchain battlefield trenches. We're here every single weekday, early Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to say not that early, because early is, early for me is crack of dawn. Okay, this is not crack of dawn. It's we're morning, right before lunchtime. Markets are trending higher today. Question mark, stocks, crypto, and more. We'll be checking out the markets as always. Look at the headlines, see what's shaking and baking as we navigate through this plandemic, scamdemic, and more. Guys, I hope you have some dry powder ready. I hope you have a little bit of storm supplies ready because it can get stormy out there, okay? I hope you got your perishable goods. I hope you got your Berkey water filters. I hope you got the shutters because it may get a little bit windy out there. And we'll navigate through these waters, guys. We'll ride the waves upwards and we'll protect ourselves on the way down. And there's strategies on the way down too, guys. So right now we're trading sideways. It looks like things are trending higher, and that's what I believe. I think that there's unlimited liquidity here with the Fed, or unlimited, I don't know what they're called. I think it's called the limited liquidity, or they're calling it their toolkit, okay? Basically, it's a money printer. It's not even a money printer. It's somebody there that just puts more digits on a computer, and somehow this thing keeps going. It's twisted, and it's not really based on value right now. It's just based on this thing, this charade, this Wizard of Oz, this whole entire game that the world's playing. And it is what it is. We're trading what we have in front of us. And we will so indeed. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you boomers out there. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Bitcoin gaining a little weight this morning. Gaining a little weight over there. We got Bitcoin there at 92.11. You can see that candle, a little weight. Let's see if we can close off below or above 95 by Friday. Right now, the target's at 95. The targets are at 95. There's a clear support there around 89 or 9. And let's see if this thing can gain weight. We had a low of 9,088 and now a high of 9,260 in the past 24 hours. TradingView technicals are still reading sell for the 1 day there on Bitcoin. Let's check out what they say regarding 1 week and 1 month projections. 1 week projections are still buy, strong buy on the moving averages. Month projections are also buy, strong buy on the moving averages. We got a couple oscillators reading sell when it comes to the 1 month projections. I'm still bullish. I think the trend's higher on both Bitcoin and the stocks. I think the stock market will hit an all-time high once again, as the NASDAQ did not too long ago. So look out for those all-time highs. I know you ask yourself, how could we be hitting all-time highs during the middle of a shutdown? Guys, because it's all manufactured, fugazi, and phony. What else could we tell you? Okay, it is what it is. Make sure you have real assets in your hand. You got real things: food, water, the supplies that it takes to survive, and then we can play in the simulacra, in the simulation, because that's what it is, guys. This is a simulation. When it comes to this currency, this thing is not even Bitcoin's a simulation. Okay, there's really nothing there. It's just a bunch of things on a screen. There's no tangible. So you want something tangible is like actually gold or food you can eat, water you could drink, bullets you can fire, if you know what I mean. Kaboom! Drop a comment out here, guys. Let me know what's shaking and baking. You know, my live studio dashboard has changed on me, and I'm not able to see the chat as accessible as easily as before, but that's okay. We'll navigate through these waters, and we will reach dry land and become victors. Plant our flag down in the ground as the crypto warriors that we are. Drop a comment, a like, a sub, a post notification bell, a ding ding, as Bitcoin's trading at 92 and gaining weight. It looks like indeed the trend is higher. Shout out to the boomers out there. Let's go ahead and look at let's look at the stocks, and then we'll go in and we'll talk about the Bitcoin prices. As DeFi is gaining weight, we've been talking about compound, liquidity mining, and whatnot. And on the other end, I'm like the only crypto guy that I've seen out there that's talking about BTC options. So, and stock options for that matter. Okay. As far as like crypto guys, So, you may want to tune into that. I think that it may be going over people's head. People are so focused on these baby altcoins and these DeFi platforms that they may not be paying attention to other things out there. And one thing about the crypto space I've noticed is that anything that's regulated turns them off. But at the same time, you got to think about it. You're entering into these DeFi unregulated platforms. I was reading an article earlier this morning that one of them, I don't know if it was Balancer or another one, they just got wiped out on one of the accounts. There is risks involved in decentralization, okay? And those risks include flawed programming. Okay, flawed programming could end up causing you to lose your bag. Okay, so think about it like this too. I mean, here's the opposite, just to play devil's advocate. When you're dealing with a regulated exchange, they mess up, at least you got a claim. When you're dealing with DeFi, decentralization, it's like nobody wants to be liable. So that's the thing with AI and decentralization that I think a lot of people don't talk about. There's no liability. And, while it's cool because, everybody in the crypto space with decentralization, bro, it's decentralized. Really, that's cute and all. Okay, that's really cute. It sounds good. It sounds cute. Like when you say everybody's going to be equal, it sounds good at the surface. But when you start pulling back the layers, it's a little more complicated than one might think. Decentralization doesn't mean that, you're going to get rich or wealthy or that it's good. So, it's something to consider. Although I do like DeFi, and I think DeFi is the talk of the town right now. And I said this last year. I think that it's going to continue to drive crypto prices. So look out for it. And drop a comment, guys. I don't know what's shaking and baking here with the chat, but we may be having a similar situation that we had last week. I put out a video, started streaming. 15 minutes went by before anybody got their post notifications. And that's with a channel with over 14,000 subs. One needs to ask, what's going on with the shadow ban? We've seen Project Veritas already leak some information from Facebook insiders that talk about how they ban. I wonder how Google's doing it out there because, at this point, it's pretty obvious if you ask me. Let's go ahead and share my screen, 92.24 on BTC. And let's look at the traditional stocks here. Let me pull up this mathematics over here. Drop a comment on me, boomers. Is it my chat that is not coming up? Let me go ahead and check out YouTube over here. And shout out to everybody on D Live. We got 3 people on D Live. Stimp, I see you. Okay, Stimp is commenting, but it's not coming up on my other screen. So let me hit refresh here. This thing, Restream.io, they got to fix this chat thing. Shout out to Stimp. I see you over there, Stimp. And let me check out YouTube real quick. We got 4 over there on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on the tube. And let me check out YouTube real quick. Boom. All right. Now let's go ahead and run down the stocks. We get the indices reading. Listen, 3119 on the S&P. Like I said, I think we're headed towards all-time highs this year, if you ask me. I know that the NASDAQ did hit all-time highs post-pandemic. Or should I say post-plandemic, depending on what you're specifically talking about. Dow 30 up 0.52 at 25,945. Crude oil back in the green there at $39. It's crazy to see this thing at 39 when just was that in April when it went into the negatives, like nothing we've ever seen before. You got bonds. The 10-year is up at 0.697. This is extremely bullish. This is an indication to me that we're going to see some green today. Okay, this is an indication that we're going to see some green. I mean, obviously, it's not set in stone, but the trend appears to be favorable right now. 0.699 headed to 0.7 and beyond on this 10-year yield. Usually when this goes green, the stocks follow. Gold there at 1768, and it's not really gaining much weight. Let's see the stocks. You got American Airlines up another 6%. United and Inovio down 4%. And then you have some of these pharmaceuticals that I don't know much about. Now, when it comes to the airlines, guys, I mean, you'll see days that, the airlines are up, 7-6%. United's up, American. But think about, you see this 1 or 2 days, but then think about how many other days they're in down 4, 5, 6%. They've been getting clapped up. I it seems to me like the airlines and the cruise ship's favorite artist right now is Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton. Boom. Can Bitcoin breach 10.5 already? It's going to be a while. I don't see it happening this week, but it could happen this month. BTC at 92.28. Let's go ahead and am I sharing my screen? No, I'm not. Let's go ahead and check out CoinMarketCap, CMC. You got top 100 cryptos here. Where's my total market cap for all of crypto? 262 billion. Bitcoin dominance stuck at 64%. I haven't seen this thing move much. Bitcoin dominance has been pretty much solid there, 64. I haven't even seen it go. There was a while there it was stuck at 66 for a while, but there you go. Bitcoin there at 92.30, Ether at 229, Ripple at 17, Bitcoin Cash at 225, Litecoin stuck at $41 there, Binance at 15.77, Cardano at 8 cents. Crypto.com losing ranking to Cardano today. Cardano up almost 7%. My understanding is the Cardano Summit going on around now? Maybe somebody want to chime in on that. I know the Cardano Summit is set to take place very soon. I'm not sure if it's today or this week, but soon. You got EOS slipping in the rankings. EOS slipping in the rankings, and I'm glad that I moved some EOS into Ether because it's lost weight. And I don't know what happened with EOS. It was hype. Ethereum on steroids. Everybody was excited about it, including myself. The speculation was high. I had bags, and everything was good up until they did that event with the voice app or whatnot. That thing was a disaster. They try to come across like they were Apple. I'm not feeling the guy that's running Block One. The vibes were just not there. And it seems like the community didn't really like what was going on there. And ever since then, I haven't heard anything booming when it comes to EOS. And furthermore, I got rid of some. I still have a little bit of EOS, to be honest, but I moved it into ETH and some ETH Classic. Watching the live feed of the Chop Zone getting torn down in Seattle. The Chaz turned into the Chop. And you know what was crazy about that? Finally, the mayor out there, they showed up, the lady, what was her name? I forgot her name. So the mayor of Seattle, she was like, supporting the defund the police and the Chaz Zone, doing nothing, acting like, lawless is the word. Basically, like letting the anarchists run wild. Up until, I think it was yesterday or the day before, the protesters showed up to her house. The protesters finally showed up to her house, and she started feeling some type of way. And, you can't. I felt my family was in danger and all that. But, you let them run rampant. And, it was cool when they were doing that in another neighborhood, but now when they show up in your neighborhood, you're ready to call the police. So, Summer of Love. This lady's out of hand, and we don't need leaders like that. Snipe her out the box, get her out of here. She should be, thrown out of office. I don't know why anybody would vote for someone like that. And you could see their tune changes very quickly when the mob shows up at their house. This is the same mob that she was supporting. Okay, you can't give in to the mob out there because they are always moving their goalposts more and more to the left. It's like you accept the mob, then tomorrow they're going to move their goalposts. The mob will eat themselves. Okay, the thing is lawless. You see the Chaz Zone out there. I think that people were getting shot this weekend or whatnot. It's out of control. She got all bent about it, right? It's out of control. That she should have. I mean, what is this lady thinking? What are people out there thinking it's going to happen if you defund the police, guys? Honestly, listen, we all know that the police has gotten out of hand. I am myself a victim of police violence. And I don't like using the word victim, but that's an actual accurate depiction when you've been physically manhandled and attempted murder has been performed against you. Well, basically, when someone puts a gun to your head, what is that called? Okay, at least is assault. So, I mean, anyway, I've experienced that personally. So, I'm not fond of the police myself, but I'm not ignorant enough to think that defunding the police is the answer. Like, you got to be at it. You listen, guys, if you don't see the agenda is to invert and subvert everything. Whatever is good is now going to be labeled bad. And whatever is bad is now going to be labeled good. It's the tricks of the devil, guys. She's had enough. Yeah, she finally had enough when they showed up at her house. It's incredible. You know, everybody said, oh, defund the police, this and that, until they are the ones that are impacted. It's incredible. So yeah, I'm glad that they're finally tearing it down, and she should be ashamed of herself. And furthermore, you know, all this jazz that Donnie was talking about, this and that and the third, I would have said the feds in there. There should never, ever, ever have been any instance ever in the United States that any municipality has been taken over by anarchists or thugs. That, I mean, you know, to just say that the mayor's only responsible, everybody in office is responsible when stuff like that happens. Okay? So just to let it go one more day is out of control. Donnie should have stopped it immediately. So should have the mayor. Everybody's responsible that's in office for letting that lawlessness go down. That's crazy, guys. Come on. Look what's happening. Look what's been happening in Central and South America for decades. Why do you think so many immigrants want to come to the United States? Okay? Because their country is lawless and it's ran by a bunch of thugs. Okay? Because they defunded the police and they follow socialist ideals, guys. I feel they were trying to bait Trump to come in so they could get all this footage of the military cracking heads. You know, they try to kick him out after that. That's a good point, Crystozilla. That's a good point. You may be right about that. True. You know, but this thing with the politics on all day. We need to stop with the politics, and that's why the champ has been talking about the good Lord. Okay, because what we need as a society is more. We need God. Okay, we don't need any lefty ideals. We don't need a utopia. We need God. You know what's funny about this defund the police talk? No one is talking about prison reform. It could be argued that fixing the prison system would address the real problem in the USA. You got a point. That's not mainstream out there. But listen, I mean, you could look at it like this. How many people did Donnie try to take out of jail? I was watching Angela Stanton's interview on Breakfast Club, and she was one of the people that were pardoned by Trump. And let me tell you, you guys got to check that interview. If you want to see someone, a black woman get attacked by the left like no other and defend herself like a champion. Shout out to Angela Stanton. I wish I lived in Georgia so I could vote for her. Okay? You got to see that. If you don't know that the left has an agenda against everybody, just watch that Breakfast Club interview. The way they treat her, the way they ridicule her, and the way she defends herself and basically sweeps the floor with the three of them. Look at the comments, and shout out to Angela Stanton. Kaboom. Check her out. Copy. Maybe you did or didn't, but she changed her life. You know, she was a nonviolent offender. She got pardoned. And she changed her life. And she's talking about she don't want to hand me down. We got to have a hand up. You know what I mean? Like you want to change inequality. You got to make sure you change poverty too. You know, you got to have economic opportunities for those that are disenfranchised. Not more welfare. Welfare is the scam, guys. That's what they're trying to do to everybody. It's like, okay, just calm down, wear a mask. We're going to send you another check. You don't need to work while we take over everything. I haven't heard it directly, but my coworker was telling me about her. Let me tell you guys, like, it hyped me up because, you know, you got your Candace Owen and stuff like that, you know, she's black and she's conservative, but like, you know, I'm not entirely on that Candace train either. Okay. She seems like controlled opposition, but Angela Stanton is hood. Okay. And she is keeping it 1,000. And the way that she debated people, the whole Breakfast Club was like, and if you just read the comments, they have been exposed for what they are. Everybody in the mainstream media is taking the ticket. And what I mean by that is accepting things that are immoral, unholy, the opposite of what we should be doing, promoting things that are against the family, promoting degeneracy. Hurry up and send me another check. I need more bits. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm obviously, I'll take the money, but you understand how things are. This is how they've. It's welfare that keeps people from working sometimes, guys. Like, oh, you can't work anymore because you're gonna stop getting your check. You know what I mean? Or I saw her talking with Young Pharaoh. I didn't see that one, but I recommend everybody check it out. Let me find it, because this was like, this interview was on fire. I may even just run it on DLive, the whole interview today, because I think that people that don't understand conservatism, and that they grew up in underprivileged communities, and they need to listen to her, okay, and see what's going on, and to see how they attack her, how they attack this conservative black woman that's changing her life. They attack her because she's pro-life. She's like, oh, do you really care about black lives? Then you should be caring about black lives in the womb. Sheesh. So yeah, I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna give you guys the link right now. It's important. I want everybody to check this out. It's important. I've never seen anybody, debate like that. Yeah, Breakfast Club, Power 105. Let me find it. Angela Staton is her name. She is running for Congress, and she's out of Georgia. I think she was amongst like the 7,000 or 8,000 people that got pardoned with, when Kanye and Kim K and Trump did all that stuff, that the media didn't want to tell you about, because since Trump is all racist, 90% of the people that were pardoned were black. Okay. Let me watch this, guys. This lady is on fire. I gotta say, it's the interview is about an hour long, so I'm not gonna play it here on this channel. I may run it back over there on DLive, but when you guys got time, watch it at 1.25x or at 1.5x to get through it quicker. And Angela Yee is exposed. She exposed her on that one. Anyway. Yeah, people don't like black women who are aware of the abortion scam. Exactly. Watch it, Lady Plants. Watch it, because Angela Yee is trying to like rebuke her about this, that, and the third. And the lady's like, how many kids do you have? And Angela's like, oh, 0. She's like, don't talk to me about being a woman or having kids. I got 5 kids. And no, she basically slaps her up. I mean, it's incredible. If you don't, after watching that interview, you got to understand that the hip hop culture, the left culture, the media culture, the Netflix culture, everything that has to do with the media empire is there designed to make you move more and more left and away from traditional values. It's to go ahead and subvert and invert, and it's exposed. Just read the comments on that video, guys. Just read the comments. The comments on their own channel from their own people. They're like, whoa. Most people are like, oh, I never would have thought I would support this lady, but now she made me realize, So yeah, check that out. Breakfast Club, Power 105. I got hype after watching that interview yesterday. I'm like, this is what we need. We need someone that stands up like this. And shout out to her. That's the definition to me of a strong black woman when you look at Angela Staton. And this whole strong black woman thing is overplayed. But when you really want the definition of that, in my opinion, look at Angela Staton. Shout out to her. Anyhow, let's go ahead and run down these headlines, guys. Check that out. I may run it back on DLive today. Boom, boom. Let me go ahead and check out Market Watch. Here's what history tells us about what happens after S&P's 500 best quarters. As strategist says, history is set to repeat. Tesla and Apple, real winners. Tech stocks have been winners. We talked about yesterday the 2 industries that are really growing. Defense and tech. Check out Wall Street Journal over here. Hong Kong police make first security law arrest amid protests. It's out of hand over there in Hong Kong. I don't know what to say, and I'm not that versed in Asian politics. I'll keep it honest with you. As U.S. coronavirus cases climb, state chart their own course. They want to push the cases climbing, but how bad are these cases, guys? How bad are the cases? I want to know. Maybe someone should do like a severity of how severe are the ones that are actually infected? Men aren't supposed to be in skirts. Bring me a for real man. Exactly. She says all that. She says all that. And she covers all that. You know, how there's an agenda to emasculate all men. Guys, they don't want strong men, independent men that lead the family. They want the opposite of that. I don't know if this is true, okay, but someone may want to cross-reference it. I saw some headlines saying that on the BLM website, Black Lives Matter website, and some sort of manifesto or something that they state there. I don't know if this is true, so you may want to fact check. It says that the nuclear family, where the man at the head of the household or the traditional family is systemic racism or something like that. They're, again, trying to attack the family. And I'm not saying that I know this is true or not, but I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised. Check out Yahoo Finance over here. Stock futures dip, but I'm seeing them slightly in the green right now as far as the indices. They were dipping in the morning, but we're holding there at 31.19. This is after the Fed and the Department of the Secretary of Treasury, Mnuchin, talked before Congress yesterday, and Aaron Carter was on IG putting on makeup. I don't even know who Aaron Carter is. Lipstick. I don't even know. I don't even know what that is, but I wouldn't be surprised. You got people straight up wearing lipstick and makeup. It's out of control, guys. It's ridiculous, right? It is. And we just got to call it for what it is, guys. Don't be scared of the mob or just stand your ground. Don't be scared. Okay? Don't be scared. You just say, no, I don't like this. And stand for what you believe in. It's out of control. It's out of control. Stand your ground out there, guys. Because the moment you give in to the mob, they're going to come and attack you. The mob will eat themselves. Check out CoinDesk over here. You got CoinDesk. Nothing really crazy on CoinDesk today. Stefan Molyneux gets 100,000 in crypto donation after YouTube. He was banned? They're calling him a white supremacist. Wow. Look, who's Cointelegraph owned by? They're calling Stefan Molyneux a white supremacist? Are you serious? Okay, you don't got to agree with the guy. And, I know he's pro-Europe and everything, but are you going to call this guy a white supremacist? I don't know, guys. It's the first thing they label him as. This is crazy. Is this slander? I don't even know what to say. I didn't even know that he was ever even labeled a white supremacist. This is crazy. He calls himself a philosopher. Online supporters have donated nearly 100K in crypto to a white supremacist and alt-right activist. Wow. For his removal of violence and hatred. How about all these YouTubers that support pedophilia and stuff? Okay? Because they don't get attacked at all either. What's wrong with these people? YouTube is out of control. That's why we're streaming this to DLive. Wow. Now they're calling him a neo-Nazi. Wow. Wow. You know what? What's up with this coin? Who's owning Cointelegraph? Because they just exposed themselves right now to me. Cointelegraph's looking like they're owned by some sort of a lefty. Like told you guys, almost the majority of all media outfits, they're in with the plan. Okay? Yeah, it's out of control. Lord mercy. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if anybody's followed Stefan Molyneux, because I have, and I've checked out his videos, and I'm not agreeing with what this guy's saying, but to call him a white supremacist and a neo-Nazi is out of control. That's not factual. Okay, that's not factual. I'm not saying that I'm even a fan of this guy, but come on. Guys, if you go against the agenda, that's it. You're their enemy. And if you don't accept agendas that they'll come up with in the future, you will be their enemy as well. As you can see in the Angela Stanton interview, she is the enemy. It's crazy. It's like they say that they support underprivileged communities, women, and everything. And as soon as a black woman that's empowering herself, that has a different opinion than everybody else, she becomes the target as well. And just watch the interview. And if you haven't noticed it now, you will. If you haven't noticed it before, you will notice it now. That's what I'm saying. The media agenda, guys. The media agenda is heavy. And now they've infiltrated crypto. Cointelegraph is obviously, I don't know who they're owned by, but they're funny bunny. And CoinDesk, I wouldn't be surprised either. Who are they owned by? Operating subsidiary of Digital Currency Group. Who are these people? Digital Currency Group, the epicenter of the Bitcoin and blockchain industry. Who runs this? Got to do a little more research. Who's behind these outfits? Follow the money, guys. Follow the money. Anyhow, it's out of hand. Wow. Stefan Molyneux being labeled a neo-Nazi. Sheesh. That's a new one, guys. That is a new one. The media is not it's not anyone's friend. And listen, I'm not a Donnie supporter, I don't really. I'm very suspect about Donnie. Okay, there's some things I like about his policy, some things I don't. I don't know who he is, but flagging people, WS is getting crazy. That's not even a group. You got some light skin, and anyone can flag you. It seems. I don't know what you mean. WS is getting crazy. I don't know who he is. I don't know who that is. Yeah, if you got some light skin, anyone can flag you. It's crazy. But it's not even about the skin color, really, because you see, it's about you see, this is where they get you. You almost got me there too. If you got light skin, anyone can flag you. No, that's not true. Okay, it seems true on the surface, but that doesn't hold true, because look at Angela Stanton. She's black, and she is not in with the left agenda, so she can get attacked too. So it's not about being a woman or being black. It's about cancel culture, right? It's about canceling anybody that's not in with the lefty plan. If you're not supporting transgender, homosexuality, the destruction of the family unit, and degeneracy, defunding the police, if you're not up with all these agendas, you are the enemy. You're probably being labeled a neo-Nazi. Wilding out, guys. Woo. Yeah, it is about cancel culture. They try to throw it at you like if it's about black and white, but that's part of the scam. That's how they divide you. They take a little bits of truth and here and there. Obviously, there's racism, right? Like, and again, like I've said this before, it's not racism. It's really just evil, really. When you mass, it's not racism that exists. It's evil that exists. And that's always going to be around, guys. That's why we need conservative values, more traditional values. We need God, guys. That's the only thing that's going to save us. Progressivism is actually regressing society. Defund the rainbow. Exactly. I like that. Yo, and it's funny, Lady Plants, because she's talking about defunding the rainbow, and she tells people like, I'm against transgender. We shouldn't be telling kids this. Don't hypersexualize our children. And they're like, oh, so you're against the gay community? And she's like, nah, my son's gay. But I'm not going to lie to him and tell him that he's a woman when he's not. Kaboom. You got to watch that interview, guys. It's the most fire interview of this month. It's the most fire. Most fire. Boom. They have different agendas for everyone. It's about following the narrative and what the narrative is by getting pulled by the puppet masters. Absolutely. I'll show you something too. The communist rules for revolution. Check this out, guys. Check out these communist rules for revolution. The golden rules. Let me show you something. Check this one out. You guys may want to fact check, but I came across this. I don't know how true or not true, but it seems to make a lot of sense when you read this. Or check this out. Communist rules for revolution. Corrupt the young. Get them focused on sex. Make them superficial. Let me bring this a little bigger so you guys could read this. Check this out. Check this out. Here's the communist playbook. Tell me that this is not going on right now. Tell me. Corrupt the young, get them to focus on sex, free porn all day long. Make them superficial, crush their individuality and independence. Is that happening? Get control of all means of publicity. Okay? All the publicity is the media. It's controlled by a small group of people. Get people's mind off their government by focusing their attention on athletics, porn, and other trivialities. And that's been happening for I don't know how many years. Now, they cut the athletics now because we're in the final stage. But they got the porn on, and trivialities are basically happening every day. Divide the people into hostile groups by constantly harping on controversial matters of no importance. Okay? Destroy the people's faith in their natural leaders by holding the latter up to contempt, ridicule, and obloquy. I don't know how to pronounce that. Always preach true democracy, but seize power as fast as ruthlessly as possible. That's the thing, guys, with socialism and communism. The only way to enforce it is by having a centralized authority that enforces the socialist and communist rule. It's not like a kumbaya. Everybody thinks, oh, it's decentralized. No, guys, how do you think that you're going to keep those rules enforced? By encouraging government extravagance, destroy its credit, and produce fear of inflation with rising prices and general discontent. Foment unnecessary strikes in vital industries, encourage civil disorder, and foster a lenient and soft attitude on the part of government towards such disorder. Defund the police sounds pretty in line with number 8. Again, this is off of Reddit. I have not verified the validity of this rules for revolution that is being showed on this meme, but the information that is being provided certainly seems to correlate with real life today. By argument, cause the breakdown of the old moral virtues, honesty, sobriety, continence, faith in the pledged word, and ruggedness. Okay? Cause the registration of all firearms on some pretext with a view to confiscating them and leaving the populace helpless. Now, stop and think. How many of these rules are being carried out in the nation today? I don't see how any thinking person can truthfully say that communists do not have any part in the chaos that is upsetting our nation. Is this just a big coincidence, guys? And let me know. This is, we're covering this, and I'm not saying this is true or not, but it certainly seems like it could be. And listen to this, guys. If you're part of the agenda, you will be rewarded. And I'll give you an example. Look at Wade and his family, what they're pushing. You think that is a coincidence? People will take the ticket, guys. People have been selling their children. And I'm not saying that he is or it's not, but I'm saying people sell their children for profit in the past. You don't think that would happen now? You know? Lady Plant says, I'm a woman. I can sew. I can use a sewing machine. I can cook. I can follow a recipe, put home economics back in school. Absolutely. We got to start teaching our young ladies how to cook, how to clean, how to hold down a household, and letting them know that there is nothing to be ashamed of to do that. Like, have you not noticed, like, for the past, I don't know how many years, they shame women for staying home. They shame women for sewing. They shame women for cooking. And they're like, oh, like you're not a working woman. Working woman is a scam, guys. Okay? They flooded the market with double the amount of labor. What do you think that does to the cost of labor? If you have double the amount of supply of labor, what do you think that does to the cost of labor? It brings it down, guys. It's not about empowering the woman. It's about making their pockets more filled. You want to see how crazy young are? Go to TikTok and watch the videos of the protesting. It'll blow your mind. No, I mean, obviously. And you want to know who owns TikTok? Communist China. They're raising a bunch of hood chicks and airheads. That's right. That's why we have to, we've got to take it upon ourselves to continue speaking the truth out here and praising those that do and that are courageous and brave. And that's why I support Angela Stanton. I wish I was in Georgia. I'd vote for her. And I mean, I'm not even like excited about voting for anything. But we need more people to just call it out for what it is. Stand their ground. Don't be scared of the media mob, guys. There is a silent majority out there. There really is. The media will have you believe that the majority are like into like transgender for children. Like, that's wild. That is wild. They would have you believe that. Most people don't believe that. And notice also with the corona stuff, it's the media that you heard it. You heard about the corona through the media first. And it was all like famous people that first started coming out with the Rona. I'm looking at Hanks, Tommy Hanks out there. Yeah, you got a bunch of boys that can't even fix a doorknob. It's true. It's disgusting. It really is. It's a shame. It's really the truth. It's a shame. And, we could blame the powers that be, okay? And we've exposed them. But eventually, guys, we need to take our own responsibility as men and women and teach our kids better. It's not school that's going to do it for them. It's not the TV. It's not Disney. It's not none of this stuff. It's us. We need to spend time with our children, the men and women. Men need to lead, and women need to also play their position too, and not be ashamed of sewing, cooking, and maintaining a household. They shame women if if a woman said, no, I want to be a housewife and stay at home and be with my kids. They're like, oh, what, you're not working? Oh, it's like, that's just the complete, remember, subversion, inversion. Whatever it's good, throw the opposite, and that's what they play. And since I'm triggered, it's not okay to be fat. You can't run from the cops if you can't outrun them. Yeah, that's another one. It adds more evidence. It's like they tell you, oh, fat shaming. No, it's not okay to be fat. If you're fat, you need to lose weight. Okay? And they try to push that fat is okay. And no, it's not. It's not okay to be fat. That means if you're overweight, okay, that means that you are overweight. That means you have too much weight. You got to slim down. If you're fat, you're fat. It's not healthy to be fat. That's another one, guys. Now you start seeing it. It's part, and again, it's not just a group of men in a little room going. I'm sure that exists to a certain extent. We've seen the Creature of Jekyll Island. We've seen some of these, Bohemian Grove meetings or whatnot. And I'm sure there is rooms where men planning, but I think above that, it's even deeper. It's the powers and forces of the principalities of darkness, the forces of evil. Shout out to everybody tuning in. You got the champ going this morning, 44 minutes on the live stream. Maybe check over here on D-Live. Shout out to the 3 people on D-Live. If I get 5 people, I'll pass out lemons. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Shout out to Marlon yesterday. He dropped me some BTT and some Tron so I can start staking it and earning more. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just staking BitTorrent so that I can earn more lemons. I don't even know. I'm just staking it and I'm trying to gain. I'm making gains. So yeah, check out the rules for commies out there. I don't know if this is true or not, but it certainly seems like it could be. $92.30 on Bitcoin. I was trying to sell this call at 95. It hasn't gotten filled. Let's see. All right, guys, I'll take a few more comments and questions. I want to keep this live stream closer to 45 minutes. Probably will. I'm thinking if I have a little bit of time today, I'm going to download that Angela Stanton interview and play it on D Live, and maybe we could do a response or something like that. I think it's more people need to see it because it really hits at American culture. Breakfast Club, they talk to a lot of people, and the hip hop culture does permeate American society, and a lot of people believe in those type of ideologies. Those leaders, Charlemagne, Angela Yee, they think that's all cool, and you could see how they're challenged by someone that's also from the community, and it's incredible. Rocker says, virus fake. Well, you tell me. What do you think? What do you think? Rocker, smash the like button indeed. You tell me what you think. Has any of the numbers that they have presented to us been accurate? Has any of the numbers been accurate? I don't know. So many moving parts. But I think we can all agree with this. Whether you believe the entire narrative or not, there is sufficient information to lead one to believe that the mainstream narrative associated with the Rona is probably not all true. Yee's not my leader. Charlemagne's not my leader. That man bleaches his skin never. Yeah, I feel that, and you're basically broke the spell. You understand, but a lot of people haven't. They're still in that. They're still with. They're in the spell. They're under the spell. That's the word, or the phrase. Coronavirus is not fake. The media is exaggerating, though, says Triple X. It's not that dangerous. 2 of my homies kicked it in like 3 days. We have people here in the chat box that they say they've tested positive, and that they felt bad, but that they got better. It was a bad virus, and that they got better. I'm thinking of Original Copy as one of those persons or people, and there was other people here in the chat box that reported the same thing, that we tested positive, but I got better. So the better question is that those that have tested positive and supposedly or allegedly had the virus, do you think that the response that's being taken by the authorities is the proper response? And let's talk to the victims. Let's talk to the victims first, or the so-called, let's talk to them. The alleged victims, let's talk to them first. Lady Plantis, when she says, I was sick, the Rona is really bad, but hell, you can make it, okay? I wish I had a farm self-sufficient with a lot of pets away from everybody, says Tony Rappa. Well, that's the goal. That's ultimately at least my goal. And I'm not saying pets because, pets, what do pets do for you? Pets is like, I'm talking about, something, chickens that lay you eggs, goats that can give you milk, but having a bunch of pets, what's the point of a pet? You want to throw a bird in the cage and look at them? Pets, think about the concept of pets. I get it with a dog. Maybe the dog can, run with you and help you out there, with the flock and stuff. But, having a bunch of pets, and I think what I would say is having some farm animals that could provide to the sustenance of your family. Copy's chiming in. He said old people should be kept in quarantine. Start with those at most at risk. Well, isn't that what the concept of quarantine is? You quarantine the sick. When in the history of the world have you ever heard of quarantining the healthy? The young and healthy of a society. It's about the most backwards thing that you could do. But again, we're in the clown world order. What's good is bad and what's bad is good. I've been showing you all the evidence, guys. So yeah, Tony, check that out. That's definitely where I'm headed to. I'm always looking for that, and ultimately would like to set up and not even too far. I'm not like trying to go in the middle of nowhere, right outside of a medium-sized metropolitan area. You could probably find a good plot of land, and you could be anywhere from like 25 to 50 minutes away from a a city, a city. It doesn't have to be like, a huge city like New York, but you know what I mean? Goats eat weeds, ducks lay eggs, chickens eat bugs. Those are suitable pets. Yeah, I get it. I understand, but I wouldn't look at them as pets. I'm looking at them as farm animals. I'm not like, true farmers. I don't think they like name every single one of their goats. It's just their flock. What part of the country? I'm not in the country. I'm only on the internet. I'm actually, Rocker, I'm not even a real person. It's just an AI computer. Wait till October, November, and they will be ramping up the fear again, just like they are right now. Right, yeah. No, this is not going to stop, guys. I'm telling you, at this point, they're going to whip out the alien invasion, the fake alien invasion. I mean, listen, they've been prepping you up to believe in aliens for the past, 10, 20 years with this Fugazi-ass show, Ancient Aliens. Do you think that if any of that was true, they'd be pumping it on the mainstream? Guys, come on, guys. It's hard for people to believe in Jesus Christ, but yet they believe the History Channel that some aliens came and made the pyramids. The joke's on you guys. There's more evidence for God than there is of aliens. And what's the evidence, you may ask? Everything in front of you. Your own skin, your bones, your voice, your children, the air you breathe. That's evidence of the Lord. What evidence do you have of aliens? Maybe some YouTube videos, a couple videos, and maybe they're true or not. I don't know. Roswell, you think Roswell, the story there is actually like, come on, guys. If it's on mainstream and they're pushing it, you could probably bet that it's BS. I used to be an Ancient Alien maniac. I remember when, before even Ancient Aliens came on History Channel, I came across those ideas back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and I thought they were really cool. I remember reading the book of Urantia at one point, and that talks about celestial beings coming in and like, aliens, and it was compelling. If you ever want to read the Urantia book, that's a twister. But anyhow, so I was believing in all that shit. But ever since I started coming closer to the Lord and the good word and stopped watching the porno and all the degenerate stuff, it seems to me like I've been touched by the Holy Spirit. And again, that's my opinion. You can never prove it, guys. When it comes to the faith, I told this to Lady Plants, I believe yesterday. She says, I'm not into the mythology of the Bible. And that's cool, And I told her, listen, I don't think it's a myth. I think it's the real deal. And, we could go back and forth, and I'll admit, I don't have any direct, I can't prove it. I can't. It's just based on my faith. So I understand it's not a thing to argue. You know what I mean? But I encourage you guys to check it out and give me your opinion, because, you could have your opinion about what they told you about the Bible or what they told you about religion. But have you read the book yourself? And how many times did you look at it yourself? Did you read it recently? Because remember, we've already figured out that there's a lot of lies. So they may be lying to you about that as well. That's why I encourage people, just go to the primary source and try to figure things out on your own. And then come up with your own conclusion. I love Ancient Aliens, but I started getting weird vibes. I started feeling like they were trying to program me. Triple X, next caller, no more TV. Exactly, Lady Plant. I used to, first season of Ancient Aliens, I was like, oh, they're letting us know. Boom, boom, boom. Guys, the alien agenda. Guys, I encourage you to check out Bill Cooper. He's the father of all conspiracy, the one that wrote Behold a Pale Horse, the one that exposed Alex Jones as a fraud, the one that went down in a gun blaze after predicting 9/11 would be blamed on Osama. Okay? Bill Cooper, he let us know that there is Project Bluebeam and Project Red Light. There's disinformation campaigns out there to make the populace believe that the government is back engineering extraterrestrial technology, when in fact, that's not the case. Remember, if you're in an information war or any type of game theory, at some point you need to bluff. You can't win the poker game or the poker tournament without bluffing at some point. Okay? Because you're not always going to be getting the best hand. So at some point you're going to have to take a bluff at the pot so that you can have your stake grow and you can have a little bit more betting power. I'm sure you guys, some of you guys are poker players or have. played at a certain. So you got to look at it as game theory. All these countries and where are they bluffing? They got to bluff somewhere. So they're bluffing whether it's the aliens, whether it's the space shuttle or the moon landing. There's a bluff. Okay, and I'm not saying that I know exactly what it is, but logical reasoning, when you start using your brain, you're like, of course they got to bluff somewhere. How the hell are you going to win the tournament? One that plays poker could figure that out in just one game if you have any sort of logos. So that's what it is, guys. I like the stream today. I need more streams that, I get off with what's in my mind rather than just trying to respond to everybody in the chat. But even though it's fun to really interact with the chat as well. But I think that most recently I'm paying way too much attention to the chat, and I need to pay attention more to the stream of thought that I have. Because, I mean, come on, guys. You know that I pay attention to every single comment out here. I try to address. Rocker says, my opinion is that most UFOs are modern high-tech airplanes for the elite. That's what I'm saying, and that's what Cooper had said. And not just the elite, like, for the government or whatnot. Tony, I have 2 dogs, and yes, I had a whole lot of Caragulas and Antelope. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but it seems like those are breeds of dogs. Tony Rappy said, you obviously never owned a golden retriever. I've owned dogs that I love like my own family. I've owned a terrier, but not a golden retriever. And let me tell you, you guys know, I mean, if you guys been following the channel and, when my little guy passed away, it was a complete devastation to the champ. Shout out to my little guy. He used to be always next to my side here when I would live stream, my big fella. And that was my pet, but ultimately he wasn't. He was my family. So I don't believe in pets, man. I believe in family. So yeah, I mean, I get the difference. You got farm animals and you can have pets, Are you going to let the goat sleep in your bed? Are you going to bring the chicken to sleep with you and your kids? Maybe you will with the pet, but then that pet becomes your family. Yeah, as I grow into the truth, I really try to pay attention to the words that we use. Words are powerful. And I'll end it with this, being that words are powerful. I shared this video before. But I think it's a good time to end on this note. I'll pull up this video for you guys. See if I can find it. Put it up several years ago. Now I can't find it. Could you believe this? You can't even find my own video. Quantum Jumper Champ, I see you. Goats and chicken shit everywhere. That's true. But you know what? If you have them on your open land, that's great fertilizer. Is this it? There we go. The secret spell of the English language. There we go. There it is. I found it. It was 2 years ago I posted this. So check this out. This is not my video, but we'll run it. We'll run it. Check this out.
So what do I mean by the secret spells of the English language? Well, let me share with you what I call our premier life sentence. And it goes something like this. We awake each morning and go off during the weekdays to earn the living at various jobs and undertakings until we come to the weekend. And this seems perfectly acceptable to most people.
Let me run it a little faster because I probably end up getting flagged here. I'm going to run it at 1.5 and I'll play it like this.
However, more people die between 6 and 9 on a Monday morning than any other.
1.5 is too fast. 1.25 is better. And if you don't know, you could play videos faster. This is a way you can consume more content and basically run through. It's like speed reading.
At various jobs and undertakings until we come to the weekend. And this seems perfectly acceptable to most people. However, more people die between 6 and 9 on a Monday morning than any other time of the week. So I do what I call a translation of the English language, and I spell that Trance with the idea that words cast spells. So when you translate that life sentence, you remember that awake is a funeral party for the dead. Mourning is a state you're in when you attend a wake. And you would have to be in a weak daze to earn the living, since urns are for the ashes of the dead. We call our jobs undertakings. Job itself is a Hebrew word for persecuted. And what we get at the end of this perverse bargain with life is the weak end of the deal as we become progressively weakened ourselves. And so our most prevalent greeting to each other is hello, the reverse of which is oh hell. And at first, I suspected the hands of collusion entangling the language to foster illusion. And I think it's quite true that a culture's theology has a great deal to do with the word's etymology and how it evolves over time to combine incompatible meanings that may undermine the original thoughts it was meant to define. But now, I don't think it's planned, for the thing that I've found is that like concepts can gravitate toward the same sound and vibrate at the rate that our thoughts designate. Because words are electromagnetic vibrations whose fine alphabetic tintinnabulations can take on the tint of our true expectations, which they then imprint on our metal of mind, causing sounds to adhere when they're of the same kind.
That's pretty fire. I'll go ahead and I'll link this. Secret Spells of the English Language. Let me link you to the original video. I'm going to link you guys to the original video I just shared. I think that's gets you to think. That definitely sparked my it was food for thought for me. And I'll leave it at that, guys. Check that one out, and I'll be back tomorrow with a good crypto word. Stay strong out there. And make sure you're exercising. That's what's most important. You can worry about the big picture, but make sure that you start at home. Eat well, exercise well. And there you go. I have to work weekends. There you go, rocker. Check that out. It's, again, I'm not saying it's all true, but it makes you go, Talk about the weekend of a deal. You got it, rocker. I watch that video every few months, and it really gets me thinking. And again, I'm not saying that it's all true, but it gets you thinking. It really does. I'll leave it at that, guys. Stay strong. I'll be back tomorrow. It's the voice of the blockchain, Satoshi's big cousin, crypto's finest champagne. Thanks for tuning in.